So, as we learned in the very first reading of this class, Britannica states that cultural studies is the disciplinary field concerned with the role of social institutions in the shaping of culture. Now, that's a lot of words, but it's not nearly enough to describe the breadth of what I have learned these past 9 weeks. So, I'll do my best in this short video. Cultural studies is a look into what makes societies tick. Everything from music and language to sports and technology go into making us who we are. My class-long research project was on the country of Brazil, and I learned a lot about a beautiful country filled with a diverse people whose culture has been influenced from every corner of the world. The Brazilians have blended European, African, and indigenous aspects into their food and music. I dove into over 30 resources from academic articles to documentaries to virtual museums, walkthroughs, and even a couple of dance studios' websites. To save you the rambling of me stating author, article, year, I'm just going to include a works cited at the end of this video. I truly can't wait to experience all of what Brazil is with my family. Obviously, we're going to target the Carnival Extravaganza, and while we're in Rio, we'll visit the favelas and just get immersed into the street art, because there was a whole lot more than I was able to include in my presentation to keep it balanced. We would eat cassava with it in as many ways as we could find it, and hopefully that's served alongside some churrasco or a good stew. Now, musically, samba sounds great, but I honestly think that the funk karaoke vibe is more the fit for my wife. I found out that one of my old missionary friends holds boat trips into the Amazon tributaries to build community centers and shelters. And although the religious aspect isn't the best fit for my family, the heart of servitude is. And to be on a boat for a few days, traveling through the lungs of the earth, doesn't sound like a bad time, as long as you can sleep through the nightly calls of the monkeys. I would have to say that I truly loved getting to know Brazil, but it was fantastic for me to see my peers work. I've built up quite the travel list, and it was great to see my classmates work from week in and week out. And it made it clear why cultural studies are important, and how even though the world is a very diverse place, there's a lot of commonalities. Understanding the fabric of what builds culture seems to be more important in today's global world, where everyone gets a front row seat to the ebb and flow of fads and trends. Getting a grasp on what makes people special is imperative to building relationships and a sense of empathy. Professionally, I've always performed my best in diverse teams. The military will do that to you. I have done my best to ask questions and learn from anyone that I get to work with, and I've been lucky to work with people from all over the world. Currently, I've been able to work in Japan for over 5 years, and I have completely immersed myself into the culture. Well, at least as much as I could. I visited hundreds of temples and shrines, and I've been invited to celebrate and my family to dance at festivals. And don't get me started on the food. But there's a place in Tokyo called Asakusa that is home to one of my favorite neighborhoods. You walk down Hoppy Street visiting izakayas, which are bars that serve food, until eventually you arrive at Sensoji, which is the oldest temple in Tokyo. And it's my favorite photo spot because you're standing there and you're surrounded by street vendors in a place with 1,500 years of history. And there in the backdrop is Tokyo Skytree. It is the perfect balance of tradition and technology. Honestly, I think that the most fulfilling part of this class was the introspection into my own cultural norms and traditions. Selfishly, I've treated a lot of this class as a journaling or vlogging exercise. It was a great practice in trying to find out who I am, what made me this way, and what do I hope that my kids take away as they're still young enough. I'm kind of bummed that Mexico was taken from the list of countries before I was able to choose it, because my wife was born in Michoacan, and I was hoping that this class could be an excuse to study her culture with intentionality. I am immersed in the Mexican way of life, less so now than in San Diego whenever I was living with my mother in law and my grandmother in law. But I still only speak enough Spanish to yell at a dog. But I might understand a little bit more than I let on. Don't tell her that. I have no regrets about this class. I like to think that I gave it the effort that it deserves. I know I followed the advice that I give my Cub Scout pack every week, which is to do your best. But with 4 young kids and running multiple laboratories across Japan and everything else that pops up in my almost 40-year-old life day to day, I'm a busy person. This class is what I needed to stop, reflect, dream, and appreciate. And I'm excited that as my life continues, so does my study into what makes people people. So here's to new friends, foods, and cultures from all around the world. I hope your travels are special, and I hope the conversation is memorable. Thank you for your time.